Good morning, my millionaire growth partners. My name is Otis Tucker, the world's first trillionaire. I am creating heaven on earth, people, and the way that I do it, number one, is by helping people to realize that what they call their soul is the Spirit of God. Therefore, they are God as long as they take claim to their soul, owning the fact that God living inside of them. Number two, people, is that I am creating financial freedom for billions of people across this world. I am creating a million millionaires. I am the greatest leader that ever lived. I am God, people, and most important is that I manifest the words I speak. My message for you today, people, is that connecting our energies is how we build this new world. What God was revealing, what the Spirit was revealing to me last night, man, in my downloads is that, facts is that obviously I always say it to you is that everything is energy, right? Every single thing there is, people, is energy. And what I know and see, people, is that obviously you already know that God is definitely using me. You don't have to take my word for it. You can see it. His light is up on my life. He is literally speaking through me. And what I see and know, people, is that as we connect our energy, like you hear me talk about the segment that I'll cover a little bit later about how we as a collective is building heaven on earth. The way we do it, people, is that, God is using platforms like TikTok right now. You know what I'm saying? That's where I be at a lot of the time. And through algorithm and connecting other, light workers, people that side here that God is using to help transform this world. And as he connect this collective, people, as we follow each other, as we encourage each other by liking our posts or commenting on our posts, it's like we're feeding that energy that God is, using to transform this world. And what I know is this, people, is that God have an unfathomable amount of protection over my life as he used me to transform this world. He have an unfathomable amount of favor that he's bestowing upon my life. And most important is that he's leading this charge, you know what I'm saying, through Heaven and Earth International. And what I see, people, is that as you connect, as you follow me, man. Now, before you can follow me, though, it's like what I see to really be a part of this Heaven and Earth collective is that you must accept and embrace the fact that the Spirit of God lives inside of you. That is the catch. You have to actually embrace and accept that the Spirit of God lives inside of you, that what you consider to be your soul, is the Spirit of God. You have to believe that, people, and you have to believe that God lives inside of you. You have to accept that premise, because that's the price of admission, you know what I'm saying, to really be a collaborator, someone that God can use to collaborate with to help us bring about this new amazing world that we are creating, And what I see, people, is that as you join force with me, as you follow my page, as you come back daily and watch these videos, is that we are connected energetically on the spiritual level, And what happened, people, is that it intensifies and multiplies our effectiveness, And it makes sense, man. It's like pushing a car, You could push that car by yourself, but it's going to be kind of hard. But the more people that you have pushing that car forward, people, you put 2 people, it's a little easier. You get 4 people, that car moves like that. I don't care how heavy it is. So it's like the more we connect our energy, people, is that the more difference that we can make around the world. The more we become in alignment with the purpose of what God is looking to do for this world. And that's indeed how we create heaven and earth, man, is that we connect on a spiritual level, where we know the mission and vision is to create heaven on earth, and we understand and know that in order to do that, we have to work on developing ourselves and inspiring people to be the greatest version of themselves. So it's like what I see, though, and I want to be very clear on it, I'm going to just speak it as I see it, is that millions of people in this short order here is going to be connecting on a spiritual level. And it's all on social media, man. For right now, TikTok is what I keep going to because I really feel like the algorithm, God is using the algorithm, man, to really, it's been helping me in different things that I don't know about or I'm not sure about that I need to figure out. It's like things that I be thinking and bam, there it is. It comes up and, you know, the message is there to kind of guide me along the way. Because again, how does God create? He create using words. And obviously he speak through people because he lives in everybody. You know what I'm saying? So he's speaking through people to relay his message onto, you know, other people. And the way you can use your spirit of discernment through all the noise, obviously, is that you will resonate with certain things and something won't resonate with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you. That's how that goes, you know? But what I see, people, is that millions of people, as we connect on that spiritual level, right, where we connect by following each other page. And I'll say something else to you, man. You know, I watch a lot of content out here for people that's speaking their truth, and that's what I seen. So it's two things that God showed me that's the requirement. The first thing is you must believe that the Spirit of God lives inside of you. Your soul is the Spirit of God, and you have to take ownership of that. You accept the fact that you have a soul, therefore you also accept the fact that God lives inside of your people. And once you get to the point where you take claim of that, then you are God, just like I declare that for myself every single day. And that's when God can use you to help co-create this amazing heaven on earth that we are creating. The second requirement, people, is authenticity. Is that you have to speak your truth, you know? Last week I did a message about, you know, the world is waiting for your message. Your message is your truth, people. We all walk a unique part in life. And our experience is going to help different people who have similar paths that they're traveling. So you have to speak your truth as you go on your journey of self-discovery, of tapping into the Spirit of God that's inside of you. So, and even if you've never done this before, people, my suggestion is to get busy doing this, though, because those are the requirements in order to change the world. Is that the way you affect change, people, is people need to hear you speak. Your words is creating life, and it's inspiring and blessing others, man. So we don't want to deprive the world of that. So those are the two requirements right there. Is believe that God lives inside of you, and eventually I know you'll choose to be God, not just your body, but you'll choose to be the Spirit of God that lives inside of you, your mind, body, and spirit. And the second part, again, is start speaking your truth, man. Do videos and post them. You know what I'm saying? Overcome your fear of doing that and get busy doing that, because you be surprised how many people is waiting to hear your message. Matter of fact, I'm waiting to hear your message, because as God speak through you, man, and I watch your video, if it resonate with me, I'll follow you. You know what I'm saying? And I just want you to really make this your new habit, your new routine. And that what I realize is that the more your blessing is directly tied to your authenticity, and the more you authentically you're being, is the more your life will be blessed. I also know, people, that just because we connect on that level where you're following my page, as I speak, people, what I know just for the fact that we have that energetic bond is that my blessing, there's spillovers that come in your life, people. There's also protection that come over your life. So blessings will start following you. Favor will start following you. And protection, people. There's a divine protection that's over my life that you're sharing that as you become a follower and or a member of heaven and earth, a co-creator of heaven and earth, people. But remember the two requirements. And what I see, people, is that definitely not only will your life transform and change, but everybody's life will continue to change. Anybody that's in our orbit, you know, that sees what we're doing or whatnot. Anyways, man, that's the message. That's the biggest download I got last night, man, that I wanted to share with you. Shout out to my co-creators, man, of Heaven and Earth International. What I see, people, that's, you know, yesterday I was watching a video. It was very concerning, man. You know, I don't really watch the news, but on my feed here, different things will pop up about what's going on, like these protests across the U.S. and so forth. And all I can say is this, people, like, I'm very concerned. I am a little concerned right now because I saw two military personnel, and you can tell these are decorated generals or something, because they had enough dang patches across their chest, all these different medals and all that stuff. So, you know, these are very high-ranking official who is screaming and shouting genocide, you know, that genocide is happening, and just to see them being uncuffed for speaking their truth, you know what I'm saying, from their opinion, you know what I mean? Like, when do we become a country that suppress people freedom of speech? But bottom line is they were locked up for that, you know, and just seeing that was very concerning. Also seeing all these military personnel in different cities. I can't remember if it was Los Angeles or Chicago, but seeing all these soldiers in these you know, US states, like they're as like against the people. Like, that don't make sense, man. I've never seen that, and in the 30 years I've been here, I've never seen that. And just the other day, you know, another thing I saw was where the current president of the United States was addressing black boys that they're gonna be criminals, whether it's 2 years or 20 years, you know. And I was very grateful to see the governor of Maryland stepped up and really, you know, addressed the fact that, listen, man, you know, it's like to clarify that that is not our reality, man. Because unfortunately, if you got the highest man in the land saying this stuff, I mean, thank God people are smart enough to know that that is not your reality. But it was so good to hear the governor of Maryland refute that and state the fact that, listen, man, I mean, I was a little black boy, and shoot, many people could have claimed and said anything, but here I am. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for him. Things could have gone south, but here we are. You know what I'm saying? We're here making an impact, a positive impact on this world. And, you know, it was just great to see another black man. As a matter of fact, he's the only black governor in the entire state of United States of America. And he's actually he's only the third in the entire history of this country. So that says a lot, you know, the imbalance of, you know, just the racism and all that stuff that's been lingering for all these years, man. And a couple of things that's pretty alarming that, I mean, I pray to God the government and so forth would take heed to. The amount of Americans that's moving out this country's doubled for the first half of the year from what it did was last year. And at this rate, people, I don't see that slowing down no time soon. And that spells a lot of problem, you know what I mean, for the government. The economy for tourism, I think, lost like $12 billion since January. $12 billion people just wiped out, disappeared. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't see that slowing down either. You know what I'm saying? And I seen all these people, like, it was like a whole freaking, I don't want to say a parade, but it's like a whole slew, a crowd of people that's moving back home to Mexico and other countries where they're from, man, because of all these raids that's happening. You know, they want to leave this country with dignity, man. But I'll say this: what made America great was, you know, to be the land of dreams, to be the land of opportunities for those that are willing to come here and do the work, do what's necessary, you know, so they can accomplish their dream. Unfortunately, people, that dream is dead, man. Hate to say it, but that's the reality. When you have immigrants fleeing your country, when you have your own citizens fleeing your country, I don't care what you think you're doing that's right. It obviously is not right. It's not working either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm with you, people. I believe, you know, that you're on the right path by protesting, man, because at the end of the day, you only get the change that you're willing to put in the workforce. Civil rights didn't happen by accident. Martin Luther King and all these civil rights movements, I mean, activities that happened back in the 50s and 60s, you know, being able to, which afford us the freedom we have right now. So you can't stay quiet during this period. You have to do what is necessary to let whoever is in power know that, you know, the power always lies with the people, man. Like, don't get it twisted. People is where all the power lies. And the more people take ownership and accept that fact, then the easier life will be, you know. And that's not to say we are to cause chaos. We can support each other more. I would say this much: we can make sure we spend our money with local businesses. Make that a practice. I want you to change your way of doing things. For black-owned businesses, listen, man, nobody's coming to save us, man. We have to do business with each other, you know what I'm saying? It's like the Asian population, the Spanish population, all these populations around the country, if you notice, they support each other aggressively, especially Asians. I think the money circulated in their community, I think like 30 days. For black businesses, black people in general, is 6 hours. For other races, it was different things. The bottom line is, man, is that we need to find ways to support local business. And definitely for black people, I'm telling you, get busy continuously supporting our own, learning about our culture, and continue to empower each other, man. Because when you have the leadership of this country talking about black boys are criminals, like, that's crazy, man. To even utter those words out your mouth, man, it's pretty damn disgusting. I say it that way. You know, that's like devaluing people's lives, man. You know, who would have known my life would turn out like this? Just like the governor said, who would have known that as a boy he would turn out to be that, man? So my point is this, is that we get to choose people who we are. We choose who we are. You follow me? Nobody get to decide that for us. And we are people that's going to choose to have love and compassion for others. And we are going to find ways to continuously inspire and motivate each other, man. And I stand with you people as you go out there and protest for what you want, man, whatever that looks like, you know. Even though my mandate is to unite the Caribbean and Africa, I live here. And the fact that I'm starting to get concerned about what's happening, I'll definitely be paying more attention to this, and I'll address things as I see them. But for right now, united we stand, man, across the board. You know what I'm saying? Continue to unite people and support each other and empower each other, man, and believe in the best and greatness of, you know, what's possible. Anyways, I'm gonna cut that off there for now, man. Shout out to Jamaica, man, the eye of this world. Shout out to Africa, who is the mother of this world, man, and the entire Caribbean and the African diaspora worldwide. You know, man, I was watching different clips yesterday about all these kids catching the school bus in Jamaica. Listen, man, being somebody that went to Bucknut High School down there in Alexandria, coming from 8 Mile, that was about a 7-mile walk. And I remember there's plenty of times where taxi was too full or I couldn't get taxi, and I walked to school. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of miles, man, and that's the reality for a lot of rural communities. Not to mention, if you didn't have the money for fare, you had to walk. You know, I used to also go to Stepney College. So my point that I'm trying to get at, man, is to see these kids in the rural communities on school bus going to school. Their parents are so happy. You know, the kids are talking about all the beautiful change they see in Jamaica. Like, man, kids are the future, man. And to see them being so excited and happy, like, man, that melt my heart, man. That really did. You know, like, I'm watching all these different clips of just kids, like, super happy, super excited about going to school and catching a school bus. Like, man, we are coming up, man. And I'm extremely proud of this administration, man. Continue to do amazing job. Continue to serve your people, man. Continue to do everything in your best interest to empower and inspire and motivate your people, because they're starting to see the dream materializing right in front of their eyes. And whoever didn't support you before, believe me when I tell you, as they experience the amazing future you're creating for Jamaica, man, you will find a new wave of people that support you and your administration. Anyways, people, my declarations over your life, man. Number one is that you are a millionaire. You are married to the person of your dreams. You have amazing health and is in the best shape of your life, man. My prayer for you today, people, is that the Spirit of God that's inside you will continue to lead you and guide you. I pray, people, you'll start taking ownership of your soul, man, because it's not a big leap, people. You already know there's a soul inside you. When that soul leaves, that body's a carcass. That's literally what it is. You are your soul that's having a bodily experience. That's why you live on. When your body dies, you continue to live on. Your soul continue to live on, man. We have lived many lives here. And as time goes by, you'll start to remember that. I'm slowly starting to remember that, people. And I just want you to know, man, that greatness is inside of you. The Spirit of God is inside of you. You are God, people. You are that. And the sooner you start to own that, man, is not only will your life change, but everybody's life around you will change for the better, man. Let's connect in the spirit, people. Blessings onto y'all, man. You have a great day. We'll talk tomorrow.